my name is Guru Shakia and welcome to my beautiful channel. Um, Good morning, by the way. I'm coming at you guys in the morning time here from Hawaii. Last night I stayed up all night. I couldn't sleep. I was researching the hell out of art of seduction topics, and it's so interesting. It's so fascinating to learn about like human nature, human behavior, especially in something such as seduction and sexuality. Filling my brain with that stuff. Don't know if it's such a good thing yet, but it's very interesting at this time. But today, that research ended in me looking up a bunch of ways to be carefree as a Black woman. Now, this is a disclaimer for non-people of color or non-Black women who may be watching this video. You might be wondering, why am I so race obsessed? But it's not that. It's just that I know I am in the experience of a Black woman. So I encounter a lot of hardships that a Black woman would in the society in America, embodying this physical form. So I feel it is my duty to explain my journey and uplift other sisters to their height, to love themselves as I'm on my own self-love journey. So I'm going to touch on today how, I think I had lipstick on my teeth, how to be a carefree Black woman. So let's start by this. A lot of you guys have been noticing that my latest videos have been touching on social conditioning, smashing social norms, gender roles, whatever the case may be. But this video is kind of a lot similar in the sense that when I speak upon in my own definition of being a carefree Black woman, it means just basically smashing social norms and not letting anyone define you based on your skin color and your gender. Because believe it or not, a lot of that can hinder us from living our best life and having a life of freedom. Something that is very important to me, which I feel that I'm struggling to grasp because of my conditioning. To be honest, even making videos like this, I felt like I didn't have a say. Even though I am a Black woman, I feel like I didn't have a say in creating things like this, because all my life I grew up feeling like, oh, I'm not Black enough, or I'm not this, I'm not that, because there's always someone telling us good morning. There's always someone telling us how we're supposed to be or how we're supposed to act. So it's always a struggle when you're a Black woman in America or in this society. Oh, you're not Black enough. Oh, you're not. You might be on two extremes. You might have the Black culture saying you're not Black enough if you like certain things, or you may have obviously people saying you act white if you talk proper. And for a long time, I feel like I didn't have a say because I would always get picked on for being different. Now we find ourselves being picked on as Black women when we don't fit the stereotype of like the angry Black woman or negative Black woman or whatever the case may be, or don't wear our hair natural, or I got a lot of heat just dyeing my hair blonde. People will get at you for being hateful to Black people. But this video is basically to share that there's no one way to be Black or a woman. You have the choice to define what a carefree Black woman is. I have my own definition. You may have yours, a total different definition. The whole point of the carefree movement is to understand that there's no one way to live. You don't have to conform to other people's expectations of you. And it's okay to love yourself, because a lot of times this society will tell you, especially towards Black women, that no, you can't love yourself. And they will do it in various ways, being slick, right in your face with all the commercials they show you of who is beautiful in this country. But you will get a lot of subtle racism and a lot of subtle subtle hints of people saying you're not worthy. And it's up to us to be like, no, I'm going to care enough about myself to not give a fuck what you think and to create my own definition of carefree and to live by that wholeheartedly. For example, being carefree to me is loving myself regardless of who the fuck is telling me not to love me. And I make it a point every day to love myself first, and the rest will fall into place. Um, and because I learned, not only just being a black woman, but learning about self-love and teaching people about self-love, it is the main priority in our life. For one, they don't teach us that in our society because it is so powerful a thing to know. And I learned that human beings, they a lot of times don't care about themselves, so they are incapable of loving other people until they look inward. And it is our duty to love ourselves first. And as black women especially, to love our skin, to love our hair. It's not to say you can't play around with those things. Obviously, I'm not saying that. Look, I'm tatted up and dyed hair. But I mean love it in a sense of not feeling ashamed or apologizing to be black. That's something I catch myself doing often. And it's just conditioning. Moving out the way in front of people, or feeling like you're a burden because of your skin color, or automatically not trying to strive for certain opportunities because you just know or you feel you won't be accepted. Sometimes, even if we feel that intuitively, sometimes it can be our own conditioning that gets in the way of us feeling like we won't try certain things just because we know we'll be rejected. That is our own unfortunate thought patterns, but we have to learn how to exceed those within ourselves and exceed other people's expectations of us. But I challenge you today to define what freedom as a black woman is to you, what carefree means to you. But I also challenge you to, because I know growing up, I struggle so much with, if you're anything like me, I know the struggle is real. Like, I struggle so much with accepting my skin color. You spend a lot of your childhood rejecting who you are because that is what society teaches you to do. And it's not only black women, but it does hit us the hardest, I feel like, to be honest. Because, and like Malcolm X and Tupac always says, you know, that we get treated as the lowest of the low. I noticed walking through my journey throughout life, we don't get the same benefits as maybe white women do, or other women do. Who are perceived exotic, or things like that. But we have to start embracing ourselves, and nonetheless that will exude outside our aura, and that's all that matters. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't believe self-love is enough because it can be a very lonely journey, especially if you're still thinking from the mindset of I need validation. And that comes from not feeling whole. But if we understand, and it takes practice, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It takes practice to look at yourself and say, I'm enough, and this is it for the day, and I'm good with this. But it is lonely. So I can see how people do not want to look inward, or do not want to take on this journey of self-love, or they just hand their power over to other people, expecting them to love them. Because it is a very hard journey. It's not going to be easy because you have to go through a lot of bullshit, a lot of conditioning. But again, I'm challenging you to love your skin that you're in, love your features, your big nose if you have a big nose, your curves, your kinks, or however you want to style your hair. You're not limited to this one ideal of what a black woman is. It can be straight hair if you like that. It can be kinks. It can be natural hair. It can be weave. It can be whatever. You're not obligated to speak loud. But if you want to speak loud, you can. By all means, don't let anyone stop you because of stereotypes. So yeah, I'm going to leave this on a note of be dope, be you unapologetically. Have fun today. Live freely. Today's theme song is Living My Life Like It's Golden by... Shit, I just looked up her name. Living My Life Like It's Golden. Just look it up on YouTube, it'll pop up. And yeah, be dope, be you unapologetically. I hope this helps someone. If you guys have any further topics related to this, I will be happy to share with you guys. Again, I am all about teaching you guys how to love yourself and the skin you're in. But yeah, be dope, be you unapologetically. Peace.